Hello, 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 everyone. This is my name. Aha, sorry about that. This is Michelle Mickey Jones, and one of my goals is as a social worker to use my social work knowledge and my experience as a writer to assist you in developing positive coping techniques and skills that will examine the effects of trauma in your life and allow you to get in touch with those raw emotions so that you will be able to see what you are saying in your writing or in your verbal speech. So, what I wanted to talk to you about today is actually conscious thought. Now, there's three things that I would like to hit on today when it comes to conscious thought. So if you are joining me live, then I say good morning to you, good afternoon, good evening. If you are joining me on the replay, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the replay, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. So, the three things that I wanted to speak to you about conscious thought, and I have my notes. So if you see me look away, that's exactly what I'm looking at. I'm looking at my notes. Is one, to control that which you can. Two, to control to accept what you cannot. And three, to know that which tries or seeks to control you. So, again, there's three things. Conscious thought, and what we're talking about is controlling that which you can. Two is accepting what you cannot control. And three, understanding what seeks to control you. Now, for number one, what we're talking about when we talk about what we control or what we can control, and it's two things: the knowledge that you acquire and yourself. Once you've learned to control those two things, because they are within your control, what you learn, what you were educated with, what you choose to pick up from other people, that's your knowledge base. Right now, my knowledge base as a social worker will change because I'll go into clinicals. So I will gain experience and knowledge from the field. Right now, it's basically book knowledge and peripheral understanding from my professors. That's what I talk about when I talk about controlling the knowledge, because you decide when you go to school, you decide what you'll retain, you'll decide how you learn, and you'll decide what you learn. That's control. Now, and in controlling yourself, you learn to control you. You control your actions, you control your thoughts, you control your responses. And not a lot of people will understand how you function in your ability to control you. But when you control you, you are doing what is positively best for you. It's not based on other people. It's based on you and how whatever situation you are in, you are using conscious thought to not think about just the situation you're in, but the consequences of the situation that you are in. So that's what I mean when I talk about using conscious thought to control you or to help control you. So, a little short story. I was having a conversation, or I was involved in a conversation where someone was pulling on my old evangelistic skills. And I actually liked the conversation because it stimulated my mind and it brought into conscious thought and had me to remember why I found God for myself, not based on someone else. And it reminded me of the process that I had to go through to get to that point where my faith was based on my self-control. I controlled how I viewed God. And it was a great conversation, and I appreciated it, and I thank the person for it, because every now and then we need a stimuli that will ignite that conscious thought in us so that we are able to think freely for ourselves. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about step 1 of conscious thought, controlling yourself. So that's what you control. You control your knowledge base and you control yourself. Now, number 2 is that which you cannot control. And that's just one thing. You cannot control others. You cannot control the way they think. You cannot control the way they feel. You cannot control the way they respond. You cannot control their actions. And that's cool. Because if you do number 1, number 2 will have less of an impact on you. If you understand that you cannot control the actions of others because you are in control of yourself and your knowledge base, you will not be rocked to the core or to the heart by what people say or what people do. Understand that you will respect them because most people should be and have been taught respect. And you respect the opinions of others, but their opinion does not control you. It's theirs. They have a right to it. It does not have anything to do with you unless it directly affects you. And then you still revert back to number 1, where you learn to control your response to that action. Simple enough? I hope so. And if you're just popping in, I thank you for popping in. This is Michelle Mickey Jones, and we're talking to you today about conscious thought. I am a knowledge social worker and an experienced writer, and my goal is to help you to examine the effects of the trauma in your life, whatever that trauma may be, and help you to develop coping skills and techniques that allow you to be free in your speech so that your voice can be heard. So we've talked about number 1, controlling our knowledge base and controlling ourselves. We've talked about number 2, accepting that we cannot control others. And the third thing and the third point that I would like to make is understanding that which seeks to control you. And that's emotion. Emotion is a basic instinct. So anger and hatred and unforgiveness, those are all emotions. There are different stages of emotions. People go through stages of grief, so there's stages of emotions. Don't allow anger and resentment and unforgiveness and hatred to control you. That's their negative effect. And for lack of a better phraseology, that's what they seek to do, to control you, to have you angry every time you hear a certain thing, or to have you hating every time you see a certain person, or to have you bound by unforgiveness, or to have you living in fear because of resentment and rejection. Those are emotions that seek to control. And by learning to control yourself and being confident and sure in yourself, you can learn not to be affected by anger. You can learn not to be affected by hatred. You can learn not to be affected by unforgiveness. Because many people have said it, and I've found it to be true. Forgiveness is not for the person you are forgiving. It is for yourself. It frees you from the hatred, the anger, and the resentment. It is a technique that the majority and the masses need to develop and implore or implement, whichever word makes you feel more comfortable. So, no more holding grudges. No more resentment. I heard a phrase, a quote one time. It says, "He who angers you controls you." And I haven't really found out. I've done the research, but it's attributed to several different people, so I haven't found the original statement and who said it. But it's the truth. He who angers you controls you. You wake up in the morning angry, you go to bed at night angry, you go through your day angry, all at a person, a situation that has long gone and is not even thinking about you anymore. So how about we stick with number one and we develop a conscious thought to control that which is us. Control those things that are within your power to control. And I'm not saying be standoffish or be disrespectful in other people's opinions or other people's stands on life. How about you learn it? I call myself a multifaceted, eclectic person because I am willing to sit down and have a conversation with you as long as you are not disrespectful and learn something from you. It's not going to dissuade me from my stance because I'm very confident in what I do. But if I find myself a little bit off kilter or find myself able to learn something new from someone else, I will listen to you. And I'm not going to tell you, oh, shut up, be quiet, because my way is not always the right way. My way is not always the wrong way. It's just my way. So there's no right or wrong about it. It's just my way. And guess what? When I choose to change my way, it'll be a conscious thought on my part to do so. And that's what I'm saying to you. Make sure that you implore conscious thought. It's a beautiful thing to be able to think freely. It's that aspect, it's that development, it's that primal instinct that actually separates man from animal. Consciousness. And if for some reason your consciousness is a little skewed, therapy works. Trust me when I tell you, therapy works. So seek therapy, get in touch and in tune with your consciousness. Stand by what you believe in, but make sure it's based in a place of love and not anger. A place of peace and not resentment. A place of security and not hatred. Don't base your morals and values on traditions that you don't understand. Make sure you research what you believe in and know that it's true. And it's true for you. And if you speak it, that's fine. That's what it's all about. Being able to speak with your voice. And you don't shove it onto anybody, and you don't yell at anybody, and you don't scream at anyone. You just speak your voice, and you don't get angry when someone doesn't want to listen. This is Michelle Mickey Jones, and I thank you for watching. Have a great day.